So I've got a lamp plugged into this outlet right here, and I've been having issues with the lamp flickering all the time. So I'm going to take this outlet apart and I'm going to take you guys with me. Let's see if we can figure this out. So we'll go ahead and unplug the lamp. Now the first thing we need to do, of course, is to turn off power to the circuit breaker. Okay, I've turned off power at the circuit breaker. Now it still looks like there's lights on because I have lights running to be able to record this video from another room. But we'll go ahead and double check the outlet with my handy dandy RT390 from Klein Tools. This thing is a beast. I've made a whole video on it. Check it out right there. But let's use it today to check our outlet. Powered on. Okay, and as you can see, I've turned off power and I've got an energized circuit. It's looking like an open ground, open neutral fault. It does say I have 30 volts or more on this outlet, and I have turned off power at the circuit breaker, and it does indicate energized. Folks, this is an issue, and it could be also the reason why my light has been flickering. So I'm going to carefully open up this outlet, even though I know there's 30 amps, or I'm sorry, 30 volts or more on this outlet, and I'm going to test it also in a few other ways just to see if it still picks up power. So we'll go ahead and unplug the Klein Tools 390 and of course remove the cover plate. Now a couple of reasons that you might have a flickering light or intermittent power like that is you might have a loose wire. It's common that if they've used backstabs on an original outlet, it could be coming loose over the years. So let's check to see what this one looks like. All right, now I'm going to carefully pull this out because I do know that it is still energized even though the circuit breaker is off. And I'm going to inspect this outlet real good. And folks, right there, let me zoom in. Right there, you can see that the backstab has actually broken. This is most likely causing the open ground or open neutral fault and keeping it energized, and obviously the flickering lights because the case itself right there is broken. Okay, I busted out my Klein Tools NCVT. This is the non-contact voltage tester. I'll throw all this stuff in the description in the video, but what this does is test for power as well. Now with the breaker off, I really shouldn't have any power, and it's not enough, whatever voltage I do have on the line, to actually light this up or beep or vibrate. It's staying green. So this is indicating that I in fact do not have power. But that is one thing to keep in mind with these non-contact voltage testers. It does say on the Klein Tools 390 that I do have power still on the circuit, but my non-contact voltage tester is saying that it is de-energized. Now, if it were me, I would trust the one that says it still has voltage on it because you might get shocked if you're just relying on one of these voltage pins. So that just goes to show you how unreliable these can be in certain situations. Now carefully, I'm going to plug back in my Klein Tools RT390. And as you can see, we're still getting energized 30 volts or greater in open ground, open neutral. So the voltage pin says we were de-energized. The Klein Tools 390 says we're energized. I'm trusting in this. Okay, my next step was to turn off the entire circuit breaker, main breaker to the house. That way I know I'm de-energized and safe to work on this outlet. Now, something to keep in mind on a switched outlet like this is a switched outlet. On the brass terminal screws, which I'm going to be using, and it doesn't matter even if you're going to re-backstab, you still have to cut that tab, break that tab off that's in between your two brass screws. A lot of homeowners do miss a step and then they wonder why their switch is not working or it's powered up all the time with the switch on or off. If you don't break that tab between the two hot brass terminals there, it will just send power across all the time and basically negates the switch right out of the circuit. So you do want to make sure that you break that tab in between your brass screw terminals. Now there is a way to reuse any wires that you do still have backstabbed. There is a release. It's what those little slots next to the backstab holes do. If you were to push down into that little slot right there, it will release the wire and that way you could reuse. Now, if you're short on length, it's probably smart to do that. I'm just gonna cut them off, start fresh with some new J-hooks. Now, keep in mind where your wires were. My red wire was on the top and my black was on the bottom. If you wire it backwards, your switch is going to operate the other way around. So you don't want to do that either. As far as the white side on the other side, it also does, let me show you, it does have a tab right there as well. That is not necessary to break off. The white is the shared neutral anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's just the red and black on your switch side of your outlet. And then of course we'll take our green screw so we can get our ground wire off. Okay, and we have removed the old broken outlet. That's what can happen with these backstabs. So if that's your method, just know that backstabs can break. They will loosen over time and you will get flickering lights. You could even get arcing or worse. Okay, so I've got my new 15 amp outlet here. It is tamper resistant, which is a NEC code requirement for any new outlet installed here in the US. So if you buy an outlet or if you're going to replace an outlet, just make sure it does have the tamper resistant plastic tabs, as you can see in the outlets themselves. That is a requirement. Now, I'll also throw a link down in the description if you want to pick up some of these LED outlets. They're pretty cool. And before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and break off the brass tab and kind of just snap that off. There you go. Just like that. Again, if you're just using this as a regular outlet that's not switched, that step is not necessary, but you can see we broke the connection now between the top and bottom part of the hot wires coming in. That way, when the switch goes on and off, it will send power through and it will also stop it with the switch off. All right, now it's time to strip all of these wires. Now, if you're wondering how long to strip the wires, most outlets will have a wire gauge on the back, and I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little line right there. It shows you the exact length of your bare copper that you should have. So it's an easy way to judge so you don't guess it. Okay, now that we've got our wires stripped back, again, I'm going to use the J-hooks on the terminals. I highly recommend it. So I'm going to need to go ahead and bend some hooks in all of my wires. So I'll do that next. Okay, I've got J-hooks in all my wires. Now it's time to just go ahead and wire up my new switch. And when you're putting these J-hooks on, you always want to put the hooks in clockwise rotation. And that's so when you're tightening, it actually tightens the hook onto the terminal screw and it doesn't loosen it. So it gives it a tighten motion. Now there is a torque to these terminals and you don't want to have them over torqued, but you also definitely don't want to have them loose. Loose is worse because you'll be back in the same boat and you'll have some flickering lights, maybe some arcing. Make sure your wires aren't touching anything but the terminal screw. If it were to go across and touch the other one, you're right back where you started with the tab. Give everything a tug as you're going. We'll flip it over. Again, white goes anywhere on the silver terminals, clockwise rotation again. It's okay to take your time with this. You're not installing a new house or anything. You're just replacing your outlet. Just make sure you get it how you like it. Everything nice and tight. Nothing touching, shouldn't be touching. Okay, and you cannot forget the ground. So go ahead and throw that on. Same thing, you want that rotating clockwise on the hook. And just tighten that green one down. Now that we've got all our wires on, double check that you have your white on your silver terminals, your green is on your bare copper. And then on the other side of the switched outlet, I have my red on the top. My tab is broken because it's a switched outlet. And then the black on the bottom. So now that that's all wired in correctly, I'm going to gently accordion in the wires. You kind of just want to line it up. Okay, that looks good. Now it's time to install the hardware. We'll throw in our cover plate. Okay, and the outlet is installed. Now let's check the wiring again to see what it looks like with the circuit breaker off. So we'll plug our handy Klein Tools RT390, fire that sucker up. And it is saying open hot now, not energized, 0 volts. So I believe we've fixed our problem. Once I plug in the lamp and test it, I bet you it won't flicker anymore either. Okay, power is back on. Let's check it with power on now. Okay, it does say correct wire. It does say 120 and energized. So it looks like we're looking good and back in business. My lamp is no longer flickering, so that's great news. Okay, folks, hopefully now you're comfortable changing out your own switched outlet, which is pretty cool. That is one of the more difficult outlets to change because a lot of homeowners forget to break off that tab, but not you. Now you know how to do it. And also you know how to troubleshoot and replace the outlet that's causing your flickering light or intermittent power, which is a very common complaint from a lot of homeowners. So now you can do it yourself, help your friends out. You can be the guy or gal that knows. So if you liked this video, watch this one right here. I know you're gonna love it. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel right there. It does something to the algorithm. I don't know what, but it helps push out our videos and helps so many more people. With that said, I'll see you on the next one.